You know, Robin, I don't think that our people, Black people, have a real sense of the extensive amount of time that our people have been on the historical stage. They don't have a sense of our history. I mean, just this morning, I was in church this morning, and there was a sister that did a brief bio on Harriet Tubman as a part of the Black history. And of course, you know, the Harriet Tubmans and Sojourner Truths, the Benjamin Bannekers, the Martin Delaney's, all of those folks that came through the slave emancipation era are worthy of us putting a spotlight on them. But I couldn't help but think as I sat there is that that's the tragedy of how Black history is presented, at least here in the United States. And give us a sense for how expansive our history is.
Okay, if we go back just before African Americans became African Americans, we would need to go back to West Africa. And then when we go back to West Africa, the Desert Belt, there were three great empires. They weren't contemporaneous. One came first, one came second, one came third. The third one was the Songhai Empire. The Songhai Empire ruled 2/3 of West Africa in the 16th century. This was an empire of 400 cities. This was an empire of universities. This was an empire whose manuscripts have come down to us. We can read some of those manuscripts. Amongst those manuscripts, a Black South African astrophysicist, Professor Rodney Thiebe Medupe, wrote a documentary using 37 astronomical manuscripts to write a documentary on astronomy in Africa.
People once said, gold came from the south and the salt from the north. Divine knowledge came from Timbuktu. Today, these manuscripts are written testaments to a vibrant, glorious chapter in the history of African scholarship, and within them lies the detail and the ambit of this knowledge. Duggart Films is proud to announce The Ancient Astronomers of Timbuktu, a documentary film that reveals the mysteries of one of Africa's most secret places.
Mathematicians say that there are 200 mathematical manuscripts that have survived. One of them was a 16th century manuscript used at the Songhai universities. They translated it, they sent it to France, and apparently the quality of the algebra was the same level as the second year of a French university mathematics degree. All right, so that's how we were stepping in the Songhai Empire. Before that, there was the Mali Empire, producing the very famous king, Musa I, better known by his title, Mansa Musa I. In October 2012, research done in the United States presented him as the richest human being in human history. And they estimated his net worth. This is someone living between 1285, something like that, and 1337. They estimated his net worth as the equivalent of 400 billion US dollars. Before that, you had the Empire of Ghana. And the Empire of Ghana goes back to 300 AD. And before that, there's a prehistory of that region. People were building in stone buildings that still exist that go back to 2000 BC. So when we're tracing West African history, in the Desert Belt, we can go back to 2000 BC. Then there's another center of culture in West Africa, the Nigeria region. New evidence says that a site in Nigeria called Nsukka is the first place in the world where we have evidence of human beings engaged in metallurgy. So iron working. More recently, a boat was excavated in the Nigeria region. and that boat was found to be 6,500 BC.